December 2017, I was coming home from a day of deer hunting, and I happened to get a deer that day, so I had to take a different route home. I was following a red Pontiac Sunfire for miles, and we approached a intersection, and the intersection wasn't just a regular intersection. It was kind of like an exit ramp. There was a road that veered off to the left. And I also saw a white truck coming at us. The sun was in our eyes. It was pretty bright, and I saw the Sunfire just start to turn, and I immediately knew it wasn't going to be good. It was too late, but the Sunfire turned directly in front. Truck did everything it could to miss, but it was unavoidable. The truck pushed it directly into the ditch. Both vehicles were there. I immediately, I don't know, without thinking, opened my door and just took off towards the car. I knew it was obvious the car took the brunt of the impact. Got the doors open as far as I could, but we were wedged down in the ditch, and she was lifeless. I mean, at that point, I thought it was a fatal accident. And after witnessing everything that just occurred, I just didn't think it was possible that anyone could have survived that. But I was going to do everything I could to make sure, to help her and hopefully bring her back. I checked for a pulse. I had nothing at that point. She wasn't breathing. And there was smoke, and at that point, I wasn't sure if it was from the airbag or if the car was starting to catch fire. Because I attempted CPR briefly in the vehicle, but I didn't have the space I needed. And also I was worried about, at that point, the vehicle catching fire. And I could tell she was busted up from head to toe. Her legs were pointed every which direction. I mean, there wasn't a bone in her body that wasn't broken. And at that point, I made the decision, I'm getting her out of the vehicle. I wasn't gonna let anyone burn or, and it would have been easier for me to help save her life outside the vehicle. So at that point, I just started pulling. I had to cut the seat belt. I mean, we attempted to pull her for several seconds, and she was hung up in there. And all of a sudden, she took a gasp, and her eyes opened up, and that's when I went into a different mode because I realized the vehicle wasn't on fire. My biggest thing then was making sure she was alive. It was not, that's what I was doing, but now that I knew she was alive, I was gonna go into, let's not paralyze her. It just went into stabilizing her. It was probably 20 minutes until first responders got on scene, and I still continued to hold her, support her head and neck throughout them trying to extract her. And then I assisted the medics with anything they needed. They were shorthanded, and I helped pull her out of the vehicle. And then she got transported shortly after that. They put a message out on Facebook trying to find me, and somehow somebody that knew my mother saw that it was me because she had heard my mom talk about the story. And that's how they got in contact with me. And I decided at that point that I kind of wanted to, when she was doing a little bit better, that I wanted to meet her and see how she was doing. So we made our first trip up to Akron Children's. And then there's just been other times she messages me and lets me know how she's doing. They thank me way too much. Honestly, it was my job. I couldn't sit there and let somebody, I don't know, on the side of the road. It was one of those things, with my job, I've been a part of a lot, and we get used to this, but we're usually not there when stuff happens. And it was different. It affected me.